take your seat, you can please raise your right hand, my clerk can swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
And could you state your name and spell for the record, please?
Jessica Beaudry, Beaudry.
And could you tell the jury what you do for a living?
I'm a crime scene technician with the City of Grand Rapids at the Grand Rapids Police Department.
And what are your responsibilities as a crime scene technician?
As a crime scene technician, we respond to all sorts of calls. We take photographs of evidence, collect evidence, assist officers in any way that's needed.
I'd like to take you back to April 4th of 2022. Did you get called in to take photographs of an incident that occurred with a Grand Rapids police officer?
Yes, I did.
Could you tell the jury exactly where did you go and what did you do?
On that day, I was requested to go to the training unit, which is on the 3rd floor of the police department. I was requested to take photographs of Officer Schurr.
Okay. And that was due because he was involved in an officer-involved shooting?
Yes, sir.
And just to be clear, this officer that you took pictures of on that day, do you see him here in the court today?
Yes, I do.
Could you point him out and describe something he's wearing?
He's sitting over there. He's got a navy blue suit on.
Let the record reflect you identify the defendant, Your Honor.
Record shall reflect that.
Now, what is the purpose of you taking pictures?
Anytime one of our officers is involved in some sort of incident, we like to take photographs to show their overall appearance, what their clothing may look like, any of their items that may be moved or misplaced.
And that was your purpose to do it on the morning of April 4th?
The 22nd?
The 22nd of April 22. April
Oh, yes.
2022. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but you took pictures in the training room right after this incident happened?
Yes, sir.
And part of it is to kind of accurately give a depiction of what that officer looked like after this incident?
That is correct.
Okay. I'll put up now exhibit what it marked as exhibit 13. And do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And what is this a picture of?
This is a photograph that I took of Officer Schurr.
Can you dim lights, please?
That hasn't been admitted.
In terms of, that's I could ask for admission now, Your Honor.
Okay, because it's been published already.
Well, this is a picture that you took and you recognize this picture.
Yes, I do.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
Okay, to its admission?
Correct.
Okay, and 13 is now admitted.
And there's a series of photographs, exactly, it would be 13 through 21 that are the photos you took. You took a number of photos like this on that day.
Yes, I took multiple photographs.
And those are all accurate depictions of what the officer looked like, his clothing and so forth after this incident occurred.
That would be correct.
All right, just for purposes, I move for the admission of exhibits 13 through 21 then.
14 is admitted, but any objection to 14 through 21 being admitted at this time?
Hold on, I just gotta look at them real quick.
Okay.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
All right, then 14 through 21, those exhibits are now admitted.
Now, in terms of that, did you start with, is this one you start with essentially? Is that how you go through your process, if you will?
Yeah, we just usually start with a profile shot and photograph from there.
So now we'll go to exhibit 14. And you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And this is, can you describe exhibit 14?
This is a photograph of the entire front of the uniform.
Exhibit 15, what are we looking at here for the record?
A side profile.
Which side are we looking at?
His left.
To be clear for the record. Yeah,
Sorry.
We can all see it, but. Now exhibit 16.
The right profile.
Exhibit 17.
In the back.
Exhibit 18.
Those would be the tops of his hands.
Exhibit 19.
That would be his right wrist.
Now, why do we have this, it's like kind of a rule around here? What is the purpose of that?
So when an officer is involved in an incident, we usually ask if they feel like they have any injuries because we want to document those. He did indicate to me that his right wrist felt sore, and when I examined it, it looked a little swollen, so I used the scale to highlight that and photograph it.
Where, there's a laser pointer up there. Where is this? Can you show where the swollenness is?
To me, it appeared red in this general area and slightly swollen.
The exhibit 20, what are we looking at here?
That would be the inside of his hands, the palms.
And finally, exhibit 21, what are we looking at here?
The left side of his face.
Why don't we take a closer to the left side of his face?
If you can see, and I'll use the laser pointer, there appeared to be some dirt and debris kind of here and here and here.
Okay, so there's just dirt and debris on there, so you want to get a close-up view of that.
Yes, sir.
Now, we don't have a picture of, did you do anything with the duty belt, if you will?
Yes.
What is the duty belt? What exactly is that?
So the officer's duty belt is what they wear around their waistband. It contains all of their equipment, like their handcuffs, their firearm, their taser, stuff like that. Anytime an officer discharges his firearm, we do what's referred to as a round count, and we also photograph all of those items. So in the presence of multiple officers, we would have performed that round count, photographed it, and photographed the duty belt and all the items that were either there or not there as well.
So everything was in order, if you will, in his duty belt?
No.
What was wrong with it?
The taser was missing. Obviously, the firearm was also missing at that time. But as far as its condition, it was good.
All right. Thank you. I don't know if you do that.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Or morning, afternoon.
Sorry.
So you took photos of Chris on the day of the incident?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and had you talked to Chris, or did you know Chris before the date of the incident?
Yes, I did.
And you talked to him that day?
I did.
Okay, did you notice anything about his demeanor that day when you talked to him?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Normally, Officer Schurr is outgoing, happy, kind of just overall excited to be at work, I would say. And during this, or after this incident, he was just quiet and didn't really speak very much.
Okay. And during your interaction with him, you photographed, and we saw some of the injuries that you had photographed. Was there anything in the photos that you haven't had a chance to explain about his injuries that you were aware of that day?
The overall photographs for me were more to show the mud and debris on the uniforms, and then on his hands as well, there appeared to be minor scratches.
And you mentioned that you conducted round counts,
Yes.
and you were present for that.
Yes.
And why do you conduct round counts?
It's the department's procedure to conduct a round count anytime a weapon is discharged, so that way we can account for the number of cartridges they should have, things like that.
And with the firearms, is it true that during high-stress situations, officers typically do not remember how many rounds are fired?
I believe that is true, yes.
And is that partially in part of kind of the rapidly evolving dynamic situations?
Jack, she's going way beyond what a crime scene tactic can testify to.
She talked about the round counts, and this is part of.
What was the question? I don't believe you finished it.
I was asking about kind of the purpose of doing the round counts. I don't remember exactly what I had said.
She started getting into why officers don't remember in terms of how many shots are fired, which is beyond what a crime scene tactic.
That would be beyond the scope, and I believe she answered that question that you just relayed to me. So you can just ask the next question.
Okay. You didn't examine Officer Schurr without his uniform on, right?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure I'm clear in terms of, you can go back up there. You talk about, I thought the question was, there's things you missed or you weren't able to talk about. You took a picture of his hands, right? There were injuries on his hands.
Yes.
And I'm going to show, this is exhibit 18 again. So these are the injuries you saw on his hands.
Yes.
You didn't miss anything. There's no other, you weren't allowed to stop and take any pictures or anything on his hands, right?
No, they are shown in the photographs. We just did not discuss.
Okay, that you didn't discuss it, but these are accurate to the injuries you saw.
Correct.
And even on, just to make sure, this is the one injury in exhibit 19 that you kind of saw yourself.
That he had pointed out to me.
Gotcha. And the palms, there's nothing on there.
Correct.
Just want to make sure that it wasn't like there was something you were missing and you didn't take any pictures of. I have nothing further.
Ms. Hamilton, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And I don't see any hands raised on the jury. May this witness please, please?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your excuse.